Hello, my friend, and welcome to Pro Wrestling Daily. My name is Aaron Machbitz. What happened at TNA Genesis? Well, TNA Genesis took place on January 19th in Dallas, Texas, to a sold-out crowd, so that's amazing for TNA and for wrestling, and we saw a few WWE NXT superstars show up, so that sort of promotional type partnership is happening and already started. But in bigger news, Joe Hendry is now your TNA World Champion as he beats Nick Nemeth, formerly known as Dolph Ziggler, in the main event of that show. So that's an amazing thing. We believe in Joe Hendry. What an awesome experience for that crowd and for that wrestler. But a couple more, I think, pressing issues and more important things to discuss from TNA Genesis is the fact that that show will be Jordynne Grace's final night with TNA. She is believed to be WWE bound and will enter the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match, which could potentially shake up a lot of different things heading into WrestleMania. When we talked about the PWI results on an earlier video, I mentioned how dominant of a year Jordynne Grace had and could potentially shake up a lot of these WrestleMania predictions or storylines heading into Royal Rumble, where she could dominate and potentially win that Royal Rumble with her presence, her demeanor, her strength, her power, her experience, and it could really shape WrestleMania in a very different way. So TNA Genesis was her last and final night with WWE. It's not 100% confirmed, but it is believed she is WWE bound, which means she's headed to the Women's Royal Rumble match. But also during Jordynne Grace's match with Tessa Blanchard, the crowd chanted, "She's a racist." During her match, there was a chant. Now, I have an issue with this because there's something in wrestling or with pro wrestling fans that we just refuse to give people a second chance. Yes, she was canceled, and I think canceling people is also insane and stupid and doesn't work, doesn't help people grow or change or rehabilitate. Now, of course, it depends on the severity of your act, but canceling people doesn't mean anything. It's just dumb. It makes people feel bad. There's just so much shame involved, and so you don't actually take the steps to grow and change unless you just take it upon yourself, like, I'm holding myself accountable and I want to change and grow because I know I made these mistakes and I can get better from it. But there's something in wrestling where we don't want to give people second chances. We don't want to give them a chance to grow and, rebuild and become better through their mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. Literally everyone makes mistakes. Yes, some are more severe than others. And Tessa Blanchard has been called a racist. She's been alleged to be a bully. And I don't really know the full details of the situation, but I know that people can grow, people can change, and there's just no reason to chant "she's a racist" in the middle of a show to a woman that you really don't know personally. Now, there's allegations, again, of bullying and racism because you don't want to just use the word racist so loosey-goosey. It actually means something, and it has severe consequences, and if we just throw it around for everyone all the time, it loses its actual meaning to people who are actually racist. Again, I don't know her, Tessa Blanchard, well. I just know about the allegations of bullying and racism and how she's taken some time off, and it seems like she wants to grow and be a better person and all these sorts of things, and we should give her the opportunity to do that. Now, I don't know the personal stories of the people who came out with the accusation of her being a bully and a racist, and maybe they're very, very true, and maybe they're very traumatic and hard experiences, but that doesn't mean that she can't grow as a person and these other people can't reconcile to understand who she was back then and how she can be moving forward. These things are important, and wrestling fans just seem to miss this, and we don't want to give people second chances. Life is all about second and third chances because we make so many mistakes throughout life, and that's what wrestling is. Like, wrestling is a narrative. It's a story about the hero's journey. And on the hero's journey, you fall and you get beat up and you make mistakes and you make bad choices, but the hero always gets back up and moves forward. And so we can allow people to do the hero's journey and explore that narrative in their real life, not just in the wrestling ring. And so I just wanted to say that about Tessa Blanchard. It is what it is. But again, congrats to TNA Genesis. Amazing show. congrats to TNA and WWE NXT for their partnership moving forward. It should be some amazing, amazing wrestling for all of us fans. And then we move on to a WrestleMania 40 rematch, which is what is going to highlight the January 20th edition of Monday Night Raw, which is the third episode of the Raw is Netflix era. And we just see a huge WrestleMania 40 rematch will headline the WWE Raw tonight on January 20th. We will also see stars that are set in action for Saturday night's main event start to gain momentum, whether it be Gunther or Jey Uso. We also see JBL, the Hall of Famer, will return, and New Day is finally back in action. And so we saw last week where Drew McIntyre interrupted the confrontation between CM Punk and Seth Rollins. Both men, he knew he still hated both of them. Like, he had a massive feud with CM Punk. He had a massive feud with Seth Rollins. All three WWE stars will be at the most stacked Royal Rumble of all time, vying for a World Championship opportunity. I'm happy if Seth Rollins or Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble. Wouldn't be happy if CM Punk won the Royal Rumble, but McIntyre is looking to defeat Rollins again, just like he did at WrestleMania 40 to win the World Heavyweight Championship. But we know that McIntyre lost that title in minutes later to Damian Priest thanks to the CM Punk attack, and has been very angry ever since. One of the best performers on the roster. You love an angry Drew McIntyre because he's aggressive, he's mean, and he's hunting for something. He wants to win that Royal Rumble. He wants to get back to WrestleMania, and he wants to get back to the top of the mountain. So that's going to be a really, really good main event match. Of course, Seth Rollins is in the main event. He carries the show. He's been carrying the show for as long as he's been there with the Shield, and now up to this point as the revolutionary or the visionary or whatever he is, he's still amazing. And we'll see. Maybe he wins the Royal Rumble. Maybe Drew McIntyre wins the Royal Rumble. Maybe John Cena. Maybe Roman Reigns. Potentially CM Punk. You even have Rey Mysterio in the mix. Sami Zayn is probably going to announce his entry into the Royal Rumble this week as well. I mean, you got so many things going on. Meanwhile, a man who held the championship for 280 days, one of the best championship reigns of all time, and earned a spot in the WWE Hall of Fame, will return to his home state of Texas. We also saw JBL last night, January 19th, at TNA. He clotheslined the shit out of, I think, Frankie Kazarian, and now he's going to pop up at WWE Raw. He's been really popping up randomly at some independent shows and just clotheslining the shit out of people. You love to see it. You love JBL. There could be a place for him on the WWE announce desk, or maybe he might return to management, or perhaps he'll just clothesline the shit out of someone. Again, Corey Graves probably wouldn't be happy if it was him returning to the announce table. But I'm happy to see JBL back, and I'm happy to see him clotheslining the shit out of people. Got a lot of love for JBL, one of those best WWE Championship runs we've ever seen. And then also big news coming out of this preview for Monday Night Raw is that New Day will return to in-ring action for the first time since they became bad guys, since they turned heel and kicked Big E to the curb. They'll face a mystery team. I'm excited to see what direction, New Day is going to go, as they've been one of the most popular teams over the last while. Like, really, really good stuff. I don't think anyone expected New Day to reach the level they reached, especially Kofi Kingston winning the WWE Championship, but like, pretty freaking amazing stuff. And then the last thing that's important to discuss is Charlotte Flair. We saw this video package hyping her return on WWE SmackDown a couple days ago, and Charlotte Flair will soon return to WWE after missing all of 2024 with a significant knee injury. And so Charlotte Flair is on her way back to WWE. We saw this video package again during SmackDown on Friday. They're announcing her return is imminent. We don't really know. It's still unknown when exactly she'll be back, but she's coming back to television soon, hopefully to start this WrestleMania feud or storyline with someone, probably Tiffany Stratton. She's a 14-time world champion. She missed all of 2024 because she tore her ACL, her MCL, and her meniscus in a match with Asuka in December of 2023. It was originally announced on television that Flair would be unable to only compete for 9 months. Now that got expanded out because her knee injury was a bit more significant than people thought, and at no point did WWE expect her to be back in 2024 after that, according to this recent report from Sean Raw's snap of Fightful Select. And so Charlotte figures to be heavily favored and heavily factored into the creative plans for WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. As I've predicted on this show multiple times, I believe she will be facing Tiffany Stratton for the WWE Women's Championship. I think that could be an incredible feud. Tiffany Stratton's probably the best athlete in WWE. Charlotte Flair maybe was the best athlete in WWE until Tiffany Stratton took that title away from her and holds the WWE title. Again, Charlotte Flair is a 14-time world champion, is looking to secure another strap, and it would be perfect to have them feud going into WrestleMania. It was also rumored that the Queen would be tweaking her presentation upon her return, but as of now, that seems very unclear just based on the presentation she got from the video package and the things she'll probably present when she gets back on TV. But everyone's excited to see her back. We're excited to see her to get that feud going with Tiffany Stratton and see what sort of magic they can create in the ring. And really, we're all just excited it's WrestleMania season. But that's all I have for you today. Please like, subscribe, share this video, comment below. Would love to interact with any of you about your opinions, thoughts, and feelings about anything happening in the pro wrestling world. But other than that, thank you, cheers, and I'll see you next time.